He didn't like where he was, so he wanted to be on my shoulder. So that's where he is now. Anyway, back to the Vidiary. I'm thinking of starting a Vidiary because I closed out my Facebook account, or deactivated it. I didn't close it out. I might go back someday, but it's just getting overwhelming with the death of Breonna Taylor, the injustice of not charging the cops who shot her. In the state of Kentucky, it is legal for anyone to own a gun, whether black or white. I'm getting a phone call. I don't know who that's from. Anyway, and within that legal right of owning a gun, the state of Kentucky has a law where if anybody enters your house without announcing themselves prior to entry, you have within your legal rights the ability to shoot that person dead because they are coming in unannounced. And that's pretty much where we are with this case, except for the fact that the police, the Louisville Metro Police Department, is claiming that they are not under that rule. They're saying that they were within their rights to kill Breonna Taylor as she slept on the couch, simply due to the fact that they went into her apartment unannounced. Her boyfriend, who had a firearm within his legal rights, shot at the intruders because they wouldn't announce themselves, and they fired back, killing her, shooting her 5 times. So grand jury indictments came back. The only one indicted was the one officer who's already been fired for shooting blindly through the apartment wall, from the exterior of the apartment into the apartment, which then led to bullets going into the adjacent apartment where a pregnant woman resided. And he was charged with wanton endangerment. Folks, I can throw a rock at your head and be charged with wanton endangerment. That's like a slap on the wrist. That's like saying, you endangered my life. And it's a felony, and at worst can be 1 to 5 years in prison. However, this is A, police officer, B, probably his first wanton endangerment charge. And so therefore, you know that because he's already fired from the department, they're going to reduce this to a misdemeanor, maybe a fine, maybe not even that. It's all going to get washed away. And dare I say, it's going to be whitewashed. Even though our attorney general is black, that dude, I don't know, he drank the Kool-Aid or something. He does not see the injustice in what's going on. But in the state of Kentucky, if you come in my door, I don't care if you're my best friend or not, if you come in my door unannounced, if you burst in my door, if you knock on my door and I say, who is it, and you don't answer and you still come in, I am perfectly within my legal rights to shoot you dead. And that's what Breonna Taylor's boyfriend did. He was defending their home. So 3 murderers, or at least 1 murderer and 2 complicit with the crime, have now gotten off with very minor charges, laughable charges. And they are free to walk around. They are free to go along with their daily lives. Meanwhile, Breonna Taylor's family has buried their daughter. And Breonna Taylor's boyfriend is without his mate. And so we go. And here we are. Justice doesn't exist in Louisville. Justice doesn't exist in Minneapolis. Justice doesn't exist in this nation. Not under this regime. Not under this president, if you can call him that. He's a dictator. He's not a president. This time in history should go down as a blight on the national record, as whoops, we made a mistake. But anyway, so dealing with all of that external stuff, that's already challenging as it is. But then to get on social media and see all the hate and the turmoil, it's just too much. I can't take it. My cheese is sliding off my cracker. I have seen a psychologist. I've gotten diagnosed with major depressive disorder. Gotten diagnosed with PTSD from my past. I've gotten diagnosed with ADHD because I'm having trouble focusing on my work. That was my original intended discovery. The other thing were just added bonus stuff. Yay me. So right now I'm in the process of trying to find a psychiatrist to prescribe me meds to at least address the ADHD so I can concentrate on my work. But my work is suffering because I can't focus long enough to stay on task, and I often work into the night to try to make up the product, the numbers, to make a quota, if you will. But that has been discovered by my supervisor and is now being booted up to HR to see if that's acceptable or if they'll forgive it or if I'm going to be terminated. So right now I'm simply still doing the work. I'm doing it the way that they want me to now, trying to. But here I am, I'm taking a walk around the block because my mind is so scattered, I can't focus. I'm taking a lunch break, but to be, with two kids at home learning NTI, non-traditional instruction school, junior year and sixth grade year. And then my wife works part-time, but she also sews contractually out of our house. I'm working out of my son's bedroom. We have another son in college, freshman year at WKU, and struggling to determine how we get his college paid for, financial aid and all that. I'm struggling to keep this job. Our income has always been low. It's never been right. It's never been to a point where we can both feed our kids and pay the mortgage. So I'm struggling. My anxiety is through the roof. Doing the best that I can. But now I'm learning that I may be terminated, and I don't know when. I'm just waiting for them to come back and tell me. Worst or best case scenario is that I have to pack up everything out of the house and go back to the office, and then I'll be on a stringent 8:30 to 5 work day there in the office where they can monitor me. And granted, it's less distraction, but that's another thing, is we only have one vehicle right now. The other vehicle is still under repair, and I do the repair unless we absolutely have to take it to Tony, our mechanic, which I try to avoid because that costs money that we don't have. However, I can walk to work as it's only a mile away, so if there's a saving grace of me keeping my job, I'll walk to work. But then once I'm there, I'm there. I can't leave to help the kids. If Mia works that day, kids are home alone. And it is what it is. But of course, if I get that car fixed, I can leave the office. I just got to be able to notify somebody and let them know, and then go back there once the problem is resolved. But on top of all of this is the fact that we have a Black Lives Matter sign in our front yard. And since approximately 4 months ago, somebody in our neighborhood, and I think I know who it is, although I don't have any proof, and there's no way to prove it yet, somebody throwing trash in our yard at our sign. The trash has since ended. Now they're doing like actual written out notes. And the guy, God love him so, he's poorly educated, so the notes are misspelled. They don't make sense. The thought process is damaged. And he's obviously a racist, undereducated, underinformed, ignorant, a bigot, unwilling to He thinks BLM is a terrorist organization. So I've ordered a trail cam at the advice of many friends to put out on a tree that's closer to the road so I can identify the truck. Once I've identified the truck, I already know the license plate of the person that I think is doing it. If I can confirm that with the trail cam, then I have weight with which I can go to the police, whom I already don't trust, and let them know, hey, this guy's throwing trash in my yard. I don't expect anything to be done because it's the LMPD. I expect they'll slap him on the wrist or maybe just give him a warning. They won't fine him for littering, certainly. Least of all, terrorist threatening. But in addition to the trail cam that I should have by Saturday, I received finally my Black Lives Matter flag, which I have also proudly hung from the eave of my house on some lattice work. So that is very visible as well. I tried to get my daughter to let me put her pride flag up on an adjacent part of the house, but she wants to keep it in her room. And me being the clown, of course, my whole joke is, you already know you're gay. I want to let the world know that you're gay. Anyway, that's not a very good joke, but anyway, I just want to show the world that we support the causes that matter, the causes that are frequently and all the time discriminated against, while these yahoos who are throwing garbage in my yard, who are undereducated, who don't even have the patience or the love or the willingness to listen to the other side, they can get away with doing what they're doing, which is threatening, terrorizing, fear-mongering, creating a world in which many of us struggle and no longer want to live in. I'm not talking about suicide or death. I'm just saying it'd be nice to get out. And it's a sad thing to say because we're Americans. This is the United States of America. I never thought I would, never dreamed until this year that I would have to consider escaping from my country. But right now, that's what it's like, because with COVID, and here in Kentucky, the COVID numbers are rising again because we live in a red state and people are ignorant. We can't even